It is a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Corey Johnson with you. 2 big hours coming your way. Oh, yeah, or oh, no. Coming up in about 10 minutes, another edition of Fridays with Fletch. His mother writes me a check every week for a few $1,000s, begging me to have her son on the program to try to legitimize him. So I take the money and I run with it. I say, what the hell? I could use the cash. We'll try to pull something out of Fletcher Mackel that's productive and worthy. Actually, got some good stuff to discuss with Fletcher Mackel. Some cat is starting a minor league hockey team in Monroe, and he says his number one goal is to get an NHL team in New Orleans. Says if you can do it in Vegas, you can do it on the Bayou, that kind of stuff. I don't know if he understands the economy in Vegas and the economy in New Orleans. But we'll visit with Fletcher Mackel and discuss that. A rumor around New Orleans, I hope it's true, the success of Rory McIlroy and the team golf concept at the Zurich. Those guys are apparently out indirectly like recruiting other European players more than the American players. The American players like New Orleans, oh, wow, it's dirty. You know, they want to go to like Orlando or San Diego. They just want the generic rich place that rich, wealthy people, you know, enjoy. They don't want the real New Orleans kind of thing. The European players who are just as wealthy, they like the New Orleans European flavor, and it's in America. And they like our food and nightlife and music and culture and people. And the team concept is sort of just sort of decompress. You don't have to play just with, by yourself with, competing against everyone else. You partner up with a buddy on the PGA Tour, a professional golfer. And you still... It's still a PGA tournament. You get FedEx points. You get money when you win. You get money for 50th place. But it's not as, I think it's just as strenuous or stressful as far as you're in the hunt and you want to win. You're going to be focused and it's a professional golf tournament, but it's just different. It's a different format from the week in, week out grind of the PGA Tour. And it kind of took off like a rocket ship and then sort of a lull, and now Rory McIlroy's brought it back to life. The rumor is Tiger Woods, who has never, ever been to New Orleans for our annual PGA Tour stop, been playing professional golf for 30 years, has never once come to the Zurich Classic and played it. Never. Tiger Woods played at English Turn at like the old USF&G, not the pro tournament, like the amateur, the junior tournament, like 16, 17 years old, that kind of thing. Phil Mickelson played at Timberlane in some junior tournament. But Tiger Woods, he came down here early in his career, maybe 25 years ago, put on some clinic. It rained that day. Haphazardly, the Municipal Auditorium is where the Morial administration decided to go have this impromptu, press conference meeting with Tiger Woods, the Tiger Woods Foundation, instead of like going to the convention center or something. I don't know. And then the story goes, the Morial administration like handed over like a bill for police or something to Earl Woods for like 20 grand. And we're just thinking like, is it legit or is it wink, wink, we want a donation? And hey, it's a black thing and we're in New Orleans. I have no idea. But reportedly, Tiger Woods, Earl Woods especially, just ticked off and like never returned to New Orleans type of ticked off. Anyway, a rumor, the PGA Tour is going to give Charlie Woods an exemption next year. I guess Charlie will be like 16 or 17, almost done high school, heading to college golf. Going to give him an exemption, and then Tiger is going to play with his son, Charlie, at the Zurich next year. This is a huge rumor. There's nothing no reports. There's no sports media talking about it. Nothing from Tiger. It's way premature. It's just sort of like talk. The PGA Tour likes the idea. New Orleans loves the idea. Tiger and his son playing. Anyway, we'll visit with Fletcher Mackel and discuss that. This far-fetched NHL thing. I think you have a better chance of Tiger and Charlie Woods coming to the Zurich next year than an NHL team coming to a new arena, NBA Finals, Saints OTAs, Fridays with Fletcher Mackel about 5 minutes away. Michael Hecht would normally be visiting with us. Fantasy Friday edition of the show. Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans, Inc. He will not be making it today, traveling, trying to get some business for the Crescent City. Frank Brightson, 5 o'clock power hour, head chef, owner, proprietor, Brightson's restaurant in the Riverbend for 38 plus years. He won't be joining us. They're slammed tonight. So he was hoping he didn't have to, can we do it next week? I'm like, of course, Frank. He comes on no charge, just joins us because he's friend of the show, whatever he wants. But boy, we go to the bench coming out of the bullpen. Scot Craig from Katie's, Mr. New Orleans, a super yat like yours truly, like Fletcher Mackel. It's the Yat Fest today. Me, Fletcher, Scot Craig. Holy smokes. And I was dogging Fletch. At least he's representing De La Salle. Scot Craig represents Brother Martin. I didn't even know this until like a year or two ago. Brother Martin and Rummel, they have academics. Isn't that crazy? I thought it was like sports programs only. I'm joking, Brother Martin, guys. You guys have academics on Elysian Fields. Rummel, I'm not joking. Do y'all really have academics, Rummel? Rummel doesn't have academics, really, do they? Corporal, why are you shaking your head like that's uncool of me to say that?
I'm shaking your head because I don't believe that Rummel has academics.
Oh,
either.
Nice. Okay, cool. You're with me on that. Yeah, I don't know what Rummel's doing over there in Metairie. Uh-oh, that ratings meter just dropped a little. Dude, I went to Rummel. My name's Brian. What the hell you doing, dude? Come on, I'm a Catholic leaguer. I got a dog, Bro Mo, Jesuit, St. Aug, Shaw, Rummel, all of them. Who am I missing? I'll go back old school, Chalmette. Got to dog them all. Any of the Catholic League opponents for the De La Salle Cavaliers. Because I'm going to fight, maroon and white. We're on the road to victory. Someone kind of, it's like a CD skipping there. Our fight song. LSU survey. Louisiana is headed in the wrong direction. Wow. We needed an LSU survey. We had to survey the citizens. 2 out of 3 citizens think Louisiana is going in the wrong direction. Less than 30%, less than 1 out of 3. It's about 1 out of 4 think Louisiana is going in the right direction. These people also, one of 3 things, it's crazy. Walking down the street, they were trying to put a grand piano in like a 40-story building. The rope broke, the piano landed on their head. They got in a Roadrunner Coyote cartoon, an anvil that you just beat like, hot metal with a big old hammer. That fell on these people's heads. And too many drinks at Pato's one night. Louisiana moving in the right direction. Like in which way? Economy? Nope. Infrastructure? Nope. Education? Nope. Environment? Nope. Crime? Nope. How are we moving in the right direction? And I don't think this has anything to do with Jeff Landry. This is beyond Jeff Landry and him being governor for just a few months. Corey Johnson with you. Way to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool, New Orleans. NOLAAC.com is your cool spot.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
The French bread of the city of New Orleans. Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Spread the love, the real stuff, Blue Plate mayonnaise. Would you ever have anything else in your refrigerator or pantry? Blue Plate mayonnaise, a New Orleans family tradition since only 1927, 95 plus years. If you're a New Orleanian, it's got to be Blue Plate mayonnaise. It's another edition of Fridays with Fletch. Fletcher Mackel joins us live on the program. What up, Fletch?
Hi, Corey. What's up?
Not too much. Kind of hate to bring this up on the air, you know, dirty laundry on the air and all that. Remember the Saints and the LSCD a few weeks ago? The LSCD, like, hey, Saints haven't made these payments. And it's kind of embarrassing. I'm not trying to be a jerk. Your mom's check to me for having you come on the program bounced this week. The check bounced.
Get it. I actually think
I want to bet against you. I think you told me last week you bet me by the time I come on next week, that deal is done.
Yep, you're right. Yeah, let's get to reality, not the silly Corey jokes. Fletch, you're right. I owe you like a steak or a piece of speckled trout or something.
Well,
you're
let me say this. I do think the deal is at the 1 yard line. I mean, look, my brother did a one-on-one with Jeff Landry this week. You know, they had the big Super Bowl announcement this week. It's going to get done. They're going to get a new 15, 20-year lease, whatever you want to call it. I just don't know if it's happening tomorrow. That was the one thing that I was told is they're all playing nice again. Everybody's happy. They understand the importance of major professional sports and not looking. Look, there's so many cities right now, Vegas and Nashville, to name just two, that are building stadiums, getting events, pushing New Orleans. The last thing New Orleans needs to look like is we can't get out of each other's way. We're fighting. We're not on the same page. So I think they are all on the same page, rowing in the same direction. But do I think a deal is going to be announced Monday? Probably not. Now, could it be before the Super Bowl this year? Could it be before the Saints season this year? Yes. I just don't know if it's going to be Monday.
Yeah, no, I was wrong. I thought it would have been this week. I still think it could be next week or sometime really soon. I think it's, like you said, basically done. I know they had a meeting scheduled. Some of the big wigs were out of town, so they canceled it last minute. But yeah, I think it's done. I think the story of some kind of panic in the social media, people freaking out, I think that's all pretty much nonsense. Hey,
yeah, I agree.
That's
what social media does, right? Like panic and nonsense sometimes.
Yeah, a lot of the time. Yep, a lot of the time. Hey, the new arena, I guess since it's not announced, but that hurdle's cleared with the dome. Now the focus is on the arena. We discussed it a little bit last week, Fletch. It's either redo the existing Smoothie King Center, and that would require hundreds of millions of dollars to create more lower level, lower bowl seats and suites and clubs and high-end ticket, items, or build a new arena somewhere. And that seems like the more practical thing until you realize it could be 650, 750, 800, 900 million dollars.
Yeah, no, you're right. And also, too, where the arena is right now, its location being tied in with the Superdome from an infrastructure standpoint also works pretty well. So what I would envision realistically is some type of massive renovation. If people that are listening right now to your show want to Google eventually, the District of Columbia, DC, in Wizards owner Ted Leonsis did a major deal. He was threatening to move to Virginia, Northern Virginia, the suburbs of DC, and DC came up with $500 million. The owner's ponying up another $300, and they're doing a massive renovation with like an entertainment district, like more security around where the Verizon Center is in DC, in the Chinatown area. I could see something like that here where, yes, the Pelicans would have to move to the Dome potentially for a season, but they've got so much space, those two parking lots. That would be great for, I don't know, an apartment, a condo, a new hotel. It just seems like there's more to develop right there by Champion Square, where that New Orleans Center and Hyatt meets the parking. So I could see something, just trying to think big and dream big, of a massive renovation on the current Smoothie King Center, tied in with more development where those parking lots are and where a lot of that empty space is around the Smoothie King Center.
Fletch, no, I'm not drunk and I didn't get nitrous gas from the dentist's office or anything like that. It's crazy, like in the future, like maybe 15, 20 years from now, like if it's another redo of the Dome is multi-purpose. The Dome is round. It's square. It's not like an NFL facility. 30 or 31 of the 32, everything but the Dome. It's a rectangular, stadium setup around the field. It's like basketball, where the arena is a rectangular shape around the rectangular shaped court. All NFL stadiums, the sideline much shorter. Excuse me, the end zone seats. The end zone seats much shorter than the sideline seats, which are at least 120 yards long. End zones are 50, 60 yards. In the dome, the end zone's as wide as the sideline. It's like circular. It's square. There's I guess the point I'm getting at, you rip out like the plaza, the loge, the suites, and the terrace on one side of the dome, Fletch, and you move all of that like 30 yards in, and then put your field, the 50-yard line, dead center, flipping the coin, you wouldn't be under the center of the dome roof anymore. You'd be shifted off to the side. And then behind those stands, all that space you free up, you could put easily a 15, 18,000 seat basketball arena inside the dome, all under one roof. And no, I'm not on crack cocaine. Take over, Fletch.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening, to be honest with you.
Real quick, let me interject before you go off. The dome has the worst sight lines in the NFL. You're farthest from the field in the Louisiana Superdome than any NFL facility. You've been to all of them, am I wrong?
I haven't been to all of them, but I've been to a lot of them. So
any seat farther from the field than the Superdome?
Yeah, I'll say this. Some of that is silly semantics. You know, I've been to a lot of stadiums. I've sat in a lot of press boxes that aren't close. Look, I just went to SoFi. It was amazing. It was breathtaking. It was a great brand new stadium in LA. When people say, "Oh, the sight lines are the furthest away," from their upper deck to our upper deck, you're talking about 4 feet. Like the common fan isn't going to notice, the 4 foot difference when they're sitting in the upper.
No, I disagree. So, I think it's every stadium I've been in, it's noticeable as hell. I'm like, God, this place holds 70,000. That's what I always say at these other NFL stadiums. The dome looks like 70,000. So I'm used to the dome.
Because of the circular shape of the Superdome, there are more seats because newer stadiums have started putting more seating on the side instead of in the end zone. So you're right in the fact that some of the newer stadiums have more seating where it doesn't look like a periscope. But that's again, I still defend the dome a little bit since I have traveled to a lot of these places and continue to. It is the fact that the dome has been retrofitted to sustain upgrades, and it does still stand on equal footing with a ton of the current stadiums. Look, yes, are there a few that are just these Taj Mahals of sport? Yes, but the dome is not. I don't think anybody should go in on the dome saying, "Boy, they can't do any more with it." The dome is really a great facility.
That's what I was saying. In 20, 30, 40 years, the dome is. It's a brick you-know-what house, and it's so big and enormous, and there's so many different things you can do. It's like when they added those portals at the top of the terrace like 25 years ago, the extra escalators to get up. It didn't even know you could go behind there. This ramp, the removal of the ramp thing, and then now the atrium where it's multiple stories of open air and light. No, the dome it's like an old historic house. You can just keep redoing it.
The Smoothie King Center, no.
Right.
Smoothie King Center cannot be upgraded and modernized. And there's a lot of NBA stadiums right now that are going to need facelifts or new buildings, and New Orleans is definitely one. Make no mistake about that. I cannot say the things I just said about the dome about the Smoothie King.
No, Smoothie King Center was built on the cheap. Like you said, it shares a lot of the dome stuff. HVAC system, heating, AC, take it from the dome because the dome's so overbuilt. No, I think the arena when it first opened, Fletch, I think it was $85 million. And then they did some little tweaks and it was like 102. And now I think they've got maybe like $180 in it, like 180 million. That's it. And then you look at these other places and they're like billions of bucks. Hell, LSU, it's like 400 and something million, that arena they're talking about in Baton Rouge, Fletch.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I mean, look, people, the one they want, I referenced, stadiums that are they like this, they want that.
Texas.
The University of Texas built one. It's beautiful, and that's what they are hoping to have in Baton Rouge in the next 3 to 5 years.
It's an interesting model. You know, an investment firm, Corey and Fletcher, we're worth billions of dollars. Hey, Fletch, let's go build an arena in New Orleans and have concerts. We don't have an anchor tenant. It's meaningless. All of a sudden, you build it on LSU's campus or UT's campus. Let that school have the Fletcher Corey Arena for their use. It gets all this hype and publicity. Then you have a viable thing to go sell to concerts and the like. It's a win-win-win-win for kind of everybody, I guess. Fletcher Mackel's with us. We're taking a quick break. Coming right back.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disks, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today, and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, MidCity's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scot Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in MidCity.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Yeah, you right. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Hey, if you're tired of your dry cleaner and want to experience the best, Young's Dry Cleaning. Since 1940, over 84 years of excellence. Walk-up locations, free pickup and delivery, even manless locker locations all over Metro New Orleans. Maybe right where you work or live and you didn't even know it. YoungsDryCleaning.com. Want to experience the best? YoungsDryCleaning.com. Fletcher Mackel's with us. Just the other day, I heard him at some restaurant. I'm the best. I'm better than Juan Kincaid. I'm better than Doug. What's Doug's last name?
Definitely better if you can't remember his name.
Yeah. I was going to say Doug Morrow.
Doug Morrow's going into the St. Hall of Fame.
Yep. I saw that. It's good.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway, so that wasn't you spouting off you're better than all these other sports people in town?
No, that was you, and you remembered my name over there, so I appreciate it.
That's just me making up disparaging stuff about Fletch. Hey, Fletch, the model Texas used for their arena, the model LSU wants to use. I mean, generally speaking, it seems like it's a win-win-win for everybody. I guess if you're a real purist and you love LSU and you're concerned about the school and all that, maybe you're giving up too much to the investors that get to keep everything else, outside of LSU events. So it's sort of LSU gets a showplace for men and women's basketball, gymnastics, and then the rest of the year, that is a facility where LSU or Baton Rouge doesn't profit directly. The investors would, right?
Yeah. And look, I think it sounds like a great model because, and you and I have talked about this on your show before, these big stadiums now, and look, college sports, big-time college sports is like professional sports now. So the cost of this stuff is crazy. Is the TAF and LSU going to have to come up with some? Yeah. They're even talking, I read the article this week, from the woman who covers a lot of this. I believe her name is Gallo with NOLA.com, the advocate, the Times Picayune. And they talked about a tax being put in, as well, that affects hospitality in Baton Rouge, and then the private company. So that's the way all of this works these days, public, private. And it sounds like a good deal to me that, yes, you have a private company that wants to come in. They will manage it, finish it, deal with it. And LSU is going to receive the benefit of being the primary tenant. But yeah, the company that gives you the hundreds of millions of dollars is going to also benefit from the other events that are there besides LSU being the primary tenant. Yeah.
LSU becomes a stop on like the concert tour list now. The Centraplex, the PMAC, just not modern facilities to hang lights and, stages and all that of modern shows. They need a hardier roof and ceiling, and that's what they'll get out of this $400 million building that they're going to get built. They get, a great place for LSU sports and all of that, like we said. Essentially, LSU, a public university, is going to lease the land to TAF, and then the Tiger Athletic Foundation is going to sublease it to the equity firm, and it'll go from there. So, Fletch, in reality, we could see maybe by 2027, a new LSU arena, and then maybe somewhere in that time period, you'd see like construction going on at the Smoothie King Center renovations or a new building coming out the ground, right?
Yeah, I would say that that's probably exactly correct. I think that, look, LSU says that they're years away from starting construction on this. So, I mean, we're 2024 now. I would say probably shovels in the ground in 26. Does that sound fair to you and your listeners? I think so. Yeah. By the time they get everything buttoned up. Yep. I think that, look, the Saints deal will be announced before football season or during football season. The dome's going to be done in August. I think they'll turn their attention sometime in 25 towards 25, 26 towards the Smoothie King Center and the Pelicans. So yeah, around 27-ish, 28. Their deal's up in 29. I think that's when you're going to start to see traction on something happening with the Smoothie King Center, potentially a massive, massive upgrade on that facility.
My Superdome fantasy in 30, 40 years of ripping out essentially one whole side of the inside of the dome, Plaza, Loge, Suites, Terrace, moving it all towards the other side and making more of a rectangular shape for football, freeing up space behind it for maybe an arena, whatever, all within the dome footprint. What's more insane, crazy, that or that guy in Monroe who has the minor league team coming to Monroe saying, I'm going to bring NHL to New Orleans? Which one's more crazy?
Probably his. I mean, yours sounds crazy, but probably his. Now, let me say this. I said this the other day. I am all for big ideas
Me too.
and moonshots for New Orleans.
Me too.
I think there has been a massive lack of that in recent years in our city. You know, my brother and I used to host this event called The Big Idea. Tim Williamson, fantastic. After Katrina, they were trying to incubate young thinkers here to create companies and ideas. And that's one of the things that we talk about, people going to Austin and Nashville. Look, big ideas are great. Are they all going to come to fruition? No. But right now, I think our city and the people who are in certain positions are thinking too small. And so to me, do I think NHL to New Orleans is realistic? Hell no. Do I think, though, we need people like that? Because what could be possible is this. What about a renovated municipal auditorium that's been sitting sadly since Katrina with a minor league hockey team? That sounds doable and realistic. So if you shoot for the moon, maybe you fall a little short, but you get a nice look at the stars. And I'd rather him do that than not enough talk about great things for New Orleans.
No, I think you're right on the money, Fletch. And I'll tell you what, the brass at the municipal auditorium was working. There were 3,000 there a game. They were passionate hockey fans. It was, like all the hockey fans in the metro area that were passionate were there. And it's about 3,000, and it was intimate. It was great. I think, a minor league hockey team where you only need about 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 a game, that would work in New Orleans.
Well, that's my thing. Look, they got a team in Baton Rouge. They got a team in Lafayette. They're going to have a team in Monroe. So to me, I don't mind him saying that. Of course, we all kind of roll our eyes and smirk because the NHL is not coming here.
Yep.
But that is realistic. And if he's talking big, then the realistic one can happen. Right now, it's just like you as a born and raised New Orleanian. I want more people talking about keeping our people here, developing areas, moving the city forward, doing great things. And it just feels like right now, maybe more than any time after Katrina, we are a little bit stuck in a rut. So I actually applaud him for throwing that out there because we're talking about it right now, and maybe others will realize what is possible if you keep throwing out ideas like that.
Fletch, you know what I'd like to see? And you could do it at Yeoman until you get a soccer stadium built. I'd love to see an MLS team in New Orleans more than NHL. And what I would do, I would make it 100% Latino, the name, everything. Like, you remember the two LA teams? You had one that was Galaxy, the other was like Latino. I would make it all the gringos. We're going to the game no matter what. The white, black fan of soccer, they're going to go. But I would make it, we got 90,000 plus Hondurans in Metro New Orleans, Venezuelans, Brazilians, Mexicans post-Katrina. I would make it a Latino branded team, everything in Spanish, and make it New Orleans' MLS team and play at Tulane at Yeoman, which is a perfect MLS stadium. And then eventually like River District, something like that.
Okay, so just real quick. One of the bad things about what you've just pitched is Yeoman can't host soccer because when they built that stadium 10 years ago, when they had all the fights with the neighbors, and they sued and the construction size and how big it was.
Yeah, that it's not quite big enough it's not 65 wide.
It can't be expanded to host major soccer events. So I've already gone down that path. And here's the thing.
It would have to. There's been MLS teams playing it on a smaller field for their home games until their new place was built.
Well, let me just say this, though. Again, I love the fact that you're throwing MLS out. MLS is probably out of reach, just like NHL. Look, we have two major professional sports franchises for a city our size. It's amazing. The Saints have great support. People, the Pelican fan base grows year in and year out. I don't know if New Orleans is big enough for a third major.
We're not big enough for one or two. We subsidize both teams. Naturally, at this point, we can't support the Saints. When it was blue collar, we could support them. Tulane Stadium, we put 70,000. Then all of a sudden it's club seats and suites and all this stuff. And we invented them at the Dome, for crying out loud, the suites. How ironic. Our city doesn't have the Fortune 500. We can't afford the NFL, much less the NBA. Fletch, I used to think we were like a 1 point something sports team market. We're like a 0 point something today because it's such a rich man's thing. I mean, New Orleans is, what is it? New Orleans, Buffalo, Cincinnati. I mean, we're like Green Bay. We're the bottom part of the league when it comes to rich cities.
No, let me say, there's nothing. You're right, but the fact that we have these teams and we support them, and a lot of entertainment dollars go to that.
Oh, yeah.
Corporate money goes to that, and state money goes to it. Look, we are sustainable as we are. Like the NBA, the NFL are good. My thing is I love the big talk about what we could be or what we could do.
Hold that thought real quick. We're going to knock out one more quick break. When we come back, take it from that point there, that we got two major pro sports teams, but adding more just ain't going to work. Fletcher Mackel's with us. Don't move.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center. It's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
From the owners of Katie's in MidCity and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Ooh la Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh la Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
My Situ, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Fridays with Fletch, Fletcher Mackel with us. Fletch, the corporal, and I, who runs the controls, we were talking about Hot Wheels during the break. Did you have the Hot Wheels with the orange track? And do you remember Sizzlers?
I did have Hot Wheels as a kid, and I do remember Sizzler. Yeah, I didn't go to Sizzler a lot. I think they had a more...
No, the Hot Wheels Sizzler, not the steakhouse.
Oh, I thought you were talking like Sizzler, like the chain steakhouse. I was like, yeah, I remember it.
No. The Hot Wheel that you charged, it had a battery in it. You charge and you could turn it on and let it go, and it would run on the track by itself.
No, I was not that in the... I mean, I remember Hot Wheels, and I think my parents had some Hot Wheels for us, but that wasn't really like my go-to, I guess, as a kid. So I definitely don't remember Sizzler. Sizzler to me was like a
the old steakhouse. Yep.
Suburbs,
yep.
You know?
Hey, by the way, Travers took his Hot Wheel out of his pocket about a decade ago. Fletcher still carries a Hot Wheel car in his pocket to this day, just like a kid. Plus, he's got a rubber band, paper clip, and some gum, just like when he was a kid running around and by Gene Gordon's school off Leon C. Simon, climbing trees and causing problems in that area.
I like how you throw out the references there. Gene Gordon School, Leon C. Simon, Chatham Drive. It's like, I'm going to take the electric bike out when we finish, and maybe I'll go drift over there.
Yeah, do some drifting. Fletch is going to be drifting his bike at the bottom of the at the bottom of the high rise on the interstate. He's going to be doing some electric bike drifting and slowing down traffic. Awesome, Fletch. You heard it here first. All right. Where were we when we were going into the break there about we can't have any more pro sports teams at a major league level?
Well, here's the thing. We have NFL, King of Kings. We have NBA. Just the fan base has grown immensely, and I feel like it's doing better and better. But having a third in a city our size, look, Buffalo's the only other one that's comparable to having 2 major professional sports teams that's our size. Most of the cities that are our size are even a little bigger. Memphis has one, you know.
Orlando, Okie City. No, you're right. One Sacramento, one team. San Antonio.
Yeah. San Antonio, right. They all have one. So look, I would love us to have a third. Make no mistake. If NHL or MLS came here, I get MLS every day of the week. I would love it. But let me just say this. Instead of MLS, like I pointed out with hockey, the municipal auditorium, if this local businessman wants to do a public-private partnership, like how you referenced at LSU, and they can revamp the municipal auditorium. The hockey team can be the main tenant, and they can have other events there. I'm all for it. This River District area if people, you don't just get an MLS team. Like, so there's a
do like Portland did. Get a great following with your minor league, and then you get a major league.
Right. So to me, getting a USL team in the River District and some support for it is the first step. So to me, River District, soccer stadium, USL team, great. Let's do that. That to me is realistic and attainable in the next 3 to 5 years.
You like the Latino angle?
Sure. I mean, look, NOLA Gold is, and again, I hate to put like race things on stuff because I feel like we stereotype it. I understand the world we live in today. Like, people talk about this stuff, but for everybody, like, I am for the greater good of everybody. But I do understand what you're saying is that, look, the owner of the NOLA Gold just did a big soccer game with 2 teams, one from Honduras and I believe the other was from Mexico. And he understands the draw. Like you said, we do have a big Honduran population, but not just do it and try to say, oh, this is what it should be. My thing is it's for everybody. And I just don't get into all of those kind of like references, because I feel like when you're talking about doing teams for the city or revamping stadiums, it's not for one group, young people, old people, these people, those people. It's something that is for the greater good.
Fletcher Mackel's with us. Hey, Fletch, real quick, rapid fire. We're running out of time. A rumor's starting to circulate. Tiger Woods, Charlie getting a PGA exemption next year, playing together at the Zurich.
It would be, this was the greatest year ever for the Zurich. They would blow it off the chart if they did that. I think it could happen as well.
I know, and it would be absolutely incredible. It'd be great for golf. It'd be great for the Zurich. And it would one up what Rory and company just did, which is hard to do. Don't Stop Believing and the great interview about New Orleans and the restaurants and all that stuff. NBA Finals. That got crazy last night. It was like 60-31. Dallas kind of came back and made it close, but it was all Boston.
It was. Boston's been the best team in basketball all season. I still think Dallas is going to make it a series. Luka's so great, but I don't know if the rest of the team is going to step up. I mean, look, Drew Holiday put Kyrie Irving he did a number on him defensively. So I think probably Boston in 6.
Anything to report from Saints OTAs?
Not really. Just, selling hope right now. And hope that the new offensive coordinator is good and hope that this team clicks. But hope is all they have right now.
Well, I 100%. You're totally right. I like the get Taysom Hill more involved, which, I don't mean this literally, but like run him till the wheels fall off. I mean, use him. Don't use 4, 5, 6, 8 times a game. Use him 10, 12, 15 times a game. Have his hands on the ball, tight end, wide receiver, fullback, running back, all kind of different stuff. And Kamara, that kid's got unlimited potential, talent, even still getting a little long in the tooth. The tire's kind of worn down. Excited to see how they're going to utilize him.
Yeah, I am too. And look, I think Taysom's role will be more like Kyle Juszczyk that you saw with San Francisco, who's a fullback, tight end, lines up. I think that's what you'll see. And I'm just curious to see what they look like.
Yep. There's Blue Boy barking. Fletch, he's saying, have a great weekend. And wait, what else? I'm trying to understand. He says, get on your electric bike already. Thank you, Fletch. Corey Johnson with you, 5 o'clock power hour on a Friday. Coming your way next. Don't move.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSAgency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSAgency.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations, family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French bread.
Here he
even as a child, I'm telling you, I knew that Speed Racer was like Japanese. And even as a kid, I was like, this is what the Japanese think about Americans. And they're almost 100% right. The children are ridiculously spoiled. They eat an absurd amount of candy. And they have a monkey for a pet. Almost everything but the monkey for the pet. But man, I remember growing up in the 70s and 80s, you had like idiots having monkeys as pets. Till like the monkey bit the idiot's face off. And they like realize it's a, wild creature. Not a domestic animal like a cat or a dog. Corey Johnson with you, Fantasy Friday edition of the program. The spoiled and the candy part was right, and the pet monkey was about 50% right. Rouse's Markets phone lines are open, 766-9480 on this Fantasy Friday edition of the program. If you miss the 4 o'clock hour, I don't know what we would say, really. What are you laughing at over there, Corporal? Fridays with Fletch. It was Fletch and me just yapping, a couple of yapping about a bunch of stuff. What's that? Oh, yeah. We'll get to that. Thank you, though. I did forget. You're right on the money, Corporal. Doing the yeoman's work. No, we talked a little bit about the rumor of Tiger and Charlie Woods' son maybe playing at the Zurich. Could, the Smoothie King Center get redone, a new arena at the River District, LSU's new $400+ million arena, NHL, the Monroe guy with the minor league team, hockey team in Monroe's like my real goal is an NHL team in New Orleans. Fletch said no shot. I'm in agreement with him. We were talking more like minor league soccer would be a good gimmick, minor league stadium at the River District on the river downtown. Talked a little NBA Finals and not much going on with the Saints OTAs, just a lot of hope. And, of course, we brought up Fletcher's electric bicycle. Fridays with Fletch. We do it every week. Kind of an extended version last hour. Coming up at 5:20, we do it every Friday. We head to the River Bend, right off Dante Street. Brightson's. Frank Brightson joins us, but he's so slammed tonight. He took the night off from joining us. I mean, he was basically ready to do it. I'm like, Frank, handle your restaurant. We'll do it next week. We don't pay Frank. He just does it, a friend of the show kind of thing. I mean, he owns us. You know what I mean? I'm so happy to have him on the program. I love it. So we're going to go to the bench. We're going to go to the bullpen and pull out another starter, our day 2 starter. Scot Craig from Katie's will join us in about 10 minutes. Hey, speaking of Katie's, Corporal, I love this time of the week. First off, it's Fantasy Friday. It's Friday afternoon. Second, it's a little bit after 5 p.m. on a Friday. That means about 90% of us, the work week, 100% in the books. The weekend, it's all in front of you. It's all in front of you. I like smelling the roses. I like putting the spotlight on this very time period. We do it by blowing the 5 o'clock whistle. We do it by blowing the 5 o'clock whistle. Yeah, the 5 o'clock whistle on a Fantasy Friday, appropriately. Brought to you by Katie's in MidCity, the quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant. What a bunch of characters in that place. Plus, old school New Orleans specialties, big portions, seafood platters, po' boys, great pizza oven. A MidCity mainstay, Iberville, corner Talamacas, as New Orleans as it gets. Why aren't you at Katie's right now? What a great way to wind down the week on a Friday. The 5 o'clock whistle on a Friday, appropriately brought to you by Katie's in MidCity. Scot Craig, a few minutes away. Yeah, you right. An LSU survey. They actually had to conduct a survey to find this out. Louisiana is headed in the wrong direction, according to most Louisiana folks. At least folks are paying attention, maybe. Over 60%, 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3 Louisiana residents feel the state is going in the wrong direction. About 1 out of 4 feel it's going in the right direction. You 1 out of 4. What do you have? Some city government job? You work for the state. You have a contract where you get paid and provide very little service or anything in return. What's the deal? You're an elected official and you're setting up your friends and family like a la John Alario. What's the deal? How can 1 in 4 Louisiana folks feel the state's going in the right direction? Are you financially stable and retired? I mean, if you had money and are retired, Louisiana would be a nice place. I'm shocked we don't push it more. I mentioned this a few weeks ago with Michael Eck from Greater New Orleans Inc. Hammond, Louisiana should tout themselves as like the retirement capital of the world. They should be pushing themselves to the entire country. Come retire in Hammond. We have Southeastern University, 15,000 students, a university in the town. We've got the old train depot, old downtown, which has come back with a vengeance. Lots of young folks, eclectic, outdoor dining, stuff like that. Bars, music, right there downtown by the train tracks, by the rail depot, by the old train, station. You've got Baton Rouge, 40 minutes away. You've got New Orleans, 50 minutes away. You're right on the I-12 corridor. You're safe from hurricanes and flooding. It's a beautiful part of the country. Now, Hammond is underrated, underappreciated. The folks in Hammond know. I could roll in a Jacques Melin tonight for dinner. How good is that place, you Hammond folks? Jacques Melin, my God, is that good? Where else I used to go? I mean, they had the Trey Yen in Hammond that closed a few years ago because the brothers, some were retiring. They wanted to stay focused, consolidated into Mandeville. Where did I used to go? McDonald's Barbecue in Hammond. Trying to think of the place that had the good fried chicken, good fried shrimp. What was that place? Old guy owned it for a while, right on the main drag. Anyway. Crime, economy, those were a couple of the biggest concerns by Louisiana citizens. It's Friday. I'll save that one for Monday, huh? Monday through Thursday, we grind. It's, legislative session, Jeff Landry, LaToya Cantrell, all of that stuff. And then you throw in a little Trumpston, Biden, the shuffler. Joe Biden, the shuffler. Sort of shuffles around. But when Joe Biden gets out of a vehicle and is just standing there and not knowing where to go, I mean, come on, you get some Secret Service folks with a little common sense and can kind of say something. It's okay for them to say something where normally they shouldn't. President normally has 100% there, but Joe Biden's definitely old and slow. I don't think he's like not there. He's just old and slow. My 93-year-old mom is physically and mentally quicker and sharper than President Joe Biden, literally. I mean, the other day, like Jill Biden had to tell him, she puts her hand over her mouth and just tells him something basic like go to the left, sit in the chair. The other day, he was like trying to squat to like sit in a chair. There was no chair behind him. Wow. We'll save that for Monday through Friday. Hey, it is the weekend. You're heading home from work. Set yourself up. Get everything you need at Rouse's Markets. Dinner tonight, lunch tomorrow, dinner tomorrow night. Barbecue and grilling, frying some catfish, throwing down steaks. They got everything you need. And not just like the catfish and the steaks, like the barbecue pit, the charcoal, the starter fluid. You need gas for your gas burner. They got you covered. You want to boil seafood, gas burners, the pot, everything. They got you covered, the whole rig. It's Rouse's. Best quality, best price, best selection. Tastes like home. You're beelining home from work right now on a Friday. Get all your goodies for the weekend at your local Rouse's Markets. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Yeah, they are booked, slammed. tonight. Frank Brightson will not be joining us in 5 minutes from his restaurant. We're going to the bullpen, bringing up day 2 starting pitcher Scot Craig from Katie's. Will join us next to talk a little food and what's in season, what's fading out, all that good stuff. New Orleans, man, we don't live, I should say eat to live, to survive. We live to eat. It's important to us. Love talking food on a Friday. Corey Johnson with you.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, fuller part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet. Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com. Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scot Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in MidCity.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Hey, Tiger Town. Thanks for checking us out every afternoon on Cox Channel 4 TV. We're on Cox Channel 4 all over the state. New Orleans, Lafayette, and Baton Rouge, Tiger Town. Helm Paint and Decorating's in Tiger Town, too. That's right, Baton Rouge. In New Orleans for over 55 years. New Orleanians that know when it's time to paint, we go to Helm Paint and Decorating, the pros. We don't go to the big box store. We don't go to some national chain. We get the superior paint, Benjamin Moore, from the local guys, Helm Paint and Decorating. All they do is paint. Free 2-hour delivery in Metro New Orleans, East Bank, West Bank, North Shore. Baton Rouge, there are 4 Helm Paint and Decorating locations now in Tiger Town. Highland Road, Perkins Road, Jones Creek Road, Choctaw. Free 2-hour delivery. Benjamin Moore Products. When you got to paint in Metro New Orleans, when you got to paint in Metro Baton Rouge, do it once, do it right. They'll steer you in the right direction, Capital City. Helm Paint and Decorating, now in Baton Rouge. Yeah, you right. It is a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Corey Johnson with you, 5 o'clock powwow. Let's head to MidCity, or is he in Lakeview at Francesca Deli? Is he at Katie's? Scot Craig joins us live on the program. What up, Scott?
What's up, bro?
Not too much, man. Where you at?
I'm down at Generations Hall. We're unloading to do Naufie's Tournament of Roses tonight.
What is that? What's the acronym you said?
Naufie. It's the New Orleans Wine and Food Experience. It's been going on all week, and tonight is our night to donate to the community. And Gretchen and I are your cousin. Gretchen and I are working down here at Generations.
What are you guys doing?
Shrimp remoulade.
Wow.
Our famous shrimp remoulade.
How many pounds of shrimp?
It's a nice cool dish for a hot day.
Yep. How many pounds of shrimp, Scott?
June.
How many pounds of shrimp?
We're doing 600 servings.
Wow.
It's roughly how many pounds? I think we have 150 pounds.
I was going to say, got to be 150 pounds of shrimp. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. Awesome.
That's what Joey cooked today.
Nice.
And, we've got a really great remoulade sauce. I love shrimp Arnaud. It's a very chunky remoulade. And, my dad taught me when I was young, there's a Gulf Coast remoulade, which is a mayonnaise-y remoulade. And then there's the Creole remoulade, which is like shrimp Arnaud. And we do a little combination of the two. So ours is chunky, but with a little mayo base, blue plate mayo base with buttermilk and tomatoes and celery, onion. We do Creole mustard, horseradish. I use chili sauce instead of ketchup. And it's a really nice remoulade that people love at Katie's. We do our, fried green tomatoes with shrimp remoulade. Remy stack is what we call it. And people love that. So we're doing that tonight at Naufie.
Wow. Creole tomato season. Tough to beat.
Man, Creole tomatoes are the best. These are green tomatoes, though. But a Creole tomato sandwich on wheatberry bread with a little salt, pepper, and basil, fresh basil. Oh, off the chain, man. Off the chain.
I'll tell you, Scott, we in America, and it's even trickled into Creole tomatoes, we sacrifice flavor sometimes for like appearance. You go down to South and Central America, oranges have like bruises and brown on the outside, and you rip them open, they're perfect and they're juicy and they're so sweet. And, We like want apples that are just bright red, lemons that are yellow, grocery store appearance crap. And we genetically do this and maybe sacrifice a little quality of flavor. The tomato with like the round stem top, I want that round stem top, and then I want the earthquake cracks going out about an inch, in like 4 or 5 different directions from that stem, that ugly, broken, sort of, splintered top. That's the real Creole tomato, right?
Your cousin is interrupting me, Corey.
Hey, Corey.
What you say?
Hello.
Georgia had breakfast with your mom and Olivia this morning.
Oh, wow. Nice. Nice.
Yeah, so we do love the Creole tomato. It's by far the best. And there's so many things you can do with it. I mean, you just put a little olive oil and vinegar and a little salt and pepper, and that's all you need.
Now, you're going to kill me for this, Scott. I do a major no-no with the Creole tomato. I like them refrigerated. I like them cold. And I know you lose probably a third of the flavor when they're refrigerated, I believe.
Oh, Corey, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, whenever something's cold, you're going to lose a little bit of the flavor. But if you chill them and then let them sit for 15 minutes, I mean, that's the perfect tomato to me.
Nice.
You want them to be cool. Not ice cold, but cool.
Yeah.
But there's absolutely nothing wrong with refrigerating a Creole tomato in my eyes.
Yep. This time of year, I'll slice up a Creole. I'll slice up a Haas avocado that's right. Cut up some Vidalia onion. Throw a little Louisiana jumbo lump crab meat. And then on top of that, all you need is some cracked black pepper, a little bit of salt, and then some lemon and olive oil, and you're done. Simple but good.
Truly, that's all you need. And that's one thing that another country does better than us, and that's avocados. Mexican avocados are by far the best, in my opinion.
And I like the little Haas Juniors better than those big ones we grew up with that still exist. I'm not into the big avocado anymore.
You talking about the California avocados? They're not great.
Yeah, no, the little Haas, the little junior ones, especially the HASS, the Haas avocado, something super ripe, tough to beat. You know what I noticed, Scott? When the avocado seems to have a larger pit, it's less oily. The ones with the small pit seem to be very oily, a little wetter. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Avocado
I
talk.
like them when they're oily. They're just delicious.
Yeah,
avocados.
Yep. And artichokes. I'm not too keen on the globe artichoke, which is a year-round variety. But I like right now we're seeing that heirloom, the one that's more open, not like doesn't look like a softball when it's raw. It's got a lot of stickers that can poke your skin. If you're not careful, you got to handle it by the stem. The major difference between the globe artichoke and the heirloom artichoke, Scott.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. And they get tough, and the leaves, the inner leaves that come with an artichoke heart, that obviously we have to buy in cans. But when the ones in the olive oil that are marinated, they tend to soften those leaves a little bit. But there's one thing I can't stand is when you get chewy leaves.
Yep. Hey, Scott, what are you guys serving tonight at Katie's? I know you're not at Katie's, and I know you're not at Francesca tonight. What are you guys serving over there tonight?
We're doing a seafood stuffed oyster on the half shell. We bake them. We will be doing a different oyster every few days. I'm going to do a Rockefeller next week, or maybe tomorrow. We're doing an oyster with Provel cheese and jalapenos with bacon. Unbelievable, man. We can do a brie oyster. I mean, there's so many things we can do with oysters, and we're just trying to get creative. We'll probably do a Bienville. And my Bienville and my
Rockefeller
is a little bit different than most. I like them a little bit creamier.
Less pasty.
Yeah, and they're absolutely delicious. And I'm getting, those oysters from P&J from Sal. Man, you can't beat them.
Yep.
And we buy the best of everything. I'm finding some real price increases right now at the deli. Especially like we do a frip. It's a thin sliced potato that. It's like triple the cost of a French fry. So we're going to offer that. The frips are very popular at the deli. It's a cross between a potato chip and a fry. So we call them frips.
What is it, like those cottage fries at Crescent City Steaks?
No, they're different. These are just a thin sliced potato, deep fried, and you eat them like a French fry. And we serve them with our pimento cheese dip, which is second to none. We make our own at the deli. And Gretchen, give me a second.
I'm not gonna lift this. I'm just looking at it.
And
a little change in plans for this break.
Sorry for the interruption there, man. But we're
No, I'm about to let you go. I know you got to run.
But yeah, I love food, and I need to say, man, if you have any positive Saints fans out there, I have started Chef Scotty's Island of Positivity. And we're going to be having T-shirts made for training camp, but you're going to have to answer a few questions by me, whether I can let you on my Island of Positivity.
I'm thinking of putting out a T-shirt that says faith, hope, and bum.
Remember the faith, hope, and bum? I had to remind people of that the other day because it seems like no one has faith in what my dear friend Dennis Allen is doing with the Saints. He's got a new offensive coordinator that I'm very excited about. I met him, and he's extremely cerebral. He's your typical, really smart offensive coordinator. I think if they can keep Derek Carr upright, this team's going to be very good. 11-12 win team.
Hope.
I know that the season starts out rough. First 5 games are going to be tough, but I think we're going to come out of that 3-2, and we can finalize the season with 11 or 12 wins. And that's what it's going to take to be on Chef Scotty's Island of Positivity.
There you go. Go, Scott, go. Hey, Scott, let's end it this way. Do you remember the Bum Phillips song, Big Bad Bum? You know any of those lyrics?
I do remember it. Big Bad Bum. Boom, boom, boom. It was the old song, Big Bad Bum.
Yep, Big Bad Bum.
Right,
Do 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 do. Big Bad Bum. The only line I remember was something 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 and a 10-gallon hat, a da 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 da, and a where you at, Big Bum.
And you remember when we brought Kenny Stabler in?
Huh, if Bum Phillips would have let Kenny Stabler call his own plays like he did in Oakland, Saints would have gone to the playoffs. Kenny Stabler couldn't throw it deep, but Kenny Stabler could just destroy you from 30 yards in. He was still dangerous, even in his older age, and old age back then was 35. Kenny Stabler, Bum Phillips should have left him alone, let Kenny Stabler call his own plays. That was a mistake.
Well, what they needed to do was protect him, and Kenny Stabler got crushed.
Yep.
He got so beat up here.
Well, there should have been no Stabler. He should have stuck with Archie Manning, but Bum just didn't like Archie as a player for some reason.
Yeah, Archie Manning needed to have a team around him, and we'd be talking about playoff wins instead of what could have been with Archie Manning.
All right, you knew the Big Bad Bum. Let's see how good you are. Who did the Saints get for Archie Manning from Houston?
Leon Gray.
Kaboom goes the dynamite. Scot Craig's on fire.
Leon Gray. And that was a big fart.
Yep. That was a big mistake.
Yeah, I'll never forget that.
Well, Scott, I know you got to run. And next week we'll talk about Brother Martin. And shocking, someone told me they have academics over there. It's not just a sports program. We'll discuss that next week.
Goodbye, Corey.
Oh, boy.
Thank you.
Catholic League abuse from the De La Salle to the Brother Martin guy.
Love you, man.
Yeah, you're right,
later.
Scott.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yep. Uh-oh. There goes Scot Craig. I hope he knows I'm dogging St. Aug, Jesuit, Shaw, Rummel, all of them. Everyone but De La Salle. Brother Martin. Corey Johnson, a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Every day, this program on radio, on television, on YouTube. We're live on YouTube right now. The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson, 4 to 6 weekdays live, our podcast. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It doesn't cost anything. Every day, the program's brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex, home of the big store, Lamarck Ford, for over 45 years. Ronnie Lamarck from Araby Park doing you right. When it's F-150 time, Explorer time, any Ford vehicle, you know where you're going. The number one Ford dealership in the region because of inventory, price, service. Ronnie's taken care of you at the big store. Number one Ford dealership right next door to the number one Lincoln dealership. Across the parish, the number one truck dealership, Lamarck Crescent City Ford on Jefferson Highway. That's right, under the Lamarck umbrella. Every day, this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kenner, home of the big store, Lamarck Ford. And now, Lamarck Crescent City Ford on Jefferson Highway, too.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, fuller part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLA.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLA.com, your cool spot.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scot Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in MidCity.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
That's what I said. Leidenheimer. That's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
Served in New Orleans' finest restaurants, Leidenheimer French bread. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. A little ironical for me, Ian McNulty, Times-Picayune, had a little write-up on Clancy's in Uptown. I was there the other night with my mom, my brother, my sister, my niece, a best friend since I was like 5 years old, about 6 of us enjoying Clancy's. Wasn't too expensive. I mean, it's not inexpensive. It's a pricey restaurant. If you drink and get expensive wine, the bill's going to go through the roof like any place. But, you know, the entrees were modestly priced, and it's really one of the better menus for me in Metro New Orleans because I can eat about 90% of the stuff on the menu. It's just really good food. And some restaurants, I think, try to just get a little too fancy sometimes, just kind of this frou-frou stuff. I don't want that. I don't want the trendy stuff. I'm kind of a old school diner. And, you know, panade veal with fettuccine alfredo, a filet with a demi-glace sauce. Now they have a sirloin that they slice up with French fries. They've got this crispy chicken that's off the charts, this double-cut pork chop that's fantastic. Lemon icebox pie, the crab, the jumbo lump crab meat salad is like legendary. Great gumbo, chicken andouille, sometimes seafood gumbo. Just Clancy's in Uptown. Crawfish season, they'll have crawfish appetizers, entrees, just really, really, really good. Anyway, Ian McNulty, he does a great job with the Times-Picayune. That dude's fair, objective, positive attitude. He's not kissing anyone's butt. He doesn't have an axe to grind. He's just a really kind of a positive force, good guy. And his stuff's really accurate. Now he's got this girl that they kind of go together sometimes to places. You get 2 different perspectives, and she knows what she's talking about. Or Ian would have nothing to do with her. Those 2 together is good. No, they do a really good job. And
Clancy's is really good. The only negative I would say about Clancy's is it is noisy. It is loud. It's in the middle of Uptown. So you have a bunch of Uptown people and they start talking. They get a little juice in and they start talking louder and louder and just talking like this the whole night. And when the waiter comes, he has to talk like this. So that would be my only negative. But I think a lot of folks that they like that energy and atmosphere. They like it loud in there. But it might be the loudest restaurant in the city downstairs at Clancy's. And what's crazy, upstairs, it's carpeted and it's like an entirely different restaurant. Upstairs at Clancy's is sort of like, boy, I'm not at Clancy's at all except for the menu. The whole atmosphere is different. Downstairs, I mean, I prefer downstairs to upstairs, but yeah, it's a little loud. But that's never going to change. Like I said, it's in Uptown New Orleans. But right down the block is Patois, and that's not really loud at all. And that's another great place. And Patois, boy, you want to impress a date? You're trying to get in good with a date? They have a table on the porch. The porch is about, I don't know what it was. If it was just some little walkout porch you could stand on. The porch is probably 7 feet by 6 feet, something like that. It holds 1 4-top table. It's really for 2 people. It's for 2 people. And you get a date and you're outside at Patois all by yourself in that Uptown neighborhood. The weather's nice outside. That's pretty damn tough to beat. I think you're going to do well on your date. I think that's a Grand Slam home run. Corey Johnson with you. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. I forget the name of the restaurant. I haven't been in the Pontchartrain Hotel, Jack Smith or Jack something. And now the Pontchartrain is very maxed out. Like the rooftop has a bar. You could always go to the roof of the Pontchartrain. When I was in high school and college, I think there was like a hot tub up there. A buddy of mine, Corporal, came up with the best gimmick. He's like, dude, you got a date? I'm like, yeah, tonight. He's like, you want to know what I did last week? What? He goes, do this. And I did it. I went uptown to like Martin Wine Cellar. I got a bottle of wine and 2 wine glasses and put them in a bag and a corkscrew. And at like 4 p.m, I went to the Pontchartrain, went up to the roof and stuck it in the bushes. And then went on our date and I went to dinner and I'm like, hey, you want to go to the Pontchartrain? We stopped by the Pontchartrain, had a drink at the bar or something like that. And I was like, come on. And where are we going? And we got, let's go check out the roof. We went up to the rooftop. No one was up there. Sat down up there. And of course I had to make a line like, boy, wouldn't a nice glass of red wine be good right now? And she's like, oh yes. And then I just turned around and pulled the bag out. She's like, what? And then popped open the bottle. Later, the next day, I was like, dude, that was a home run. That was a hell of a great idea. Pulled out the corkscrew, drank a bottle of wine up on the roof. I was like, that's a good idea. A little planning ahead. Now there's a bar and everything. And I don't know if you're going to be able to get up there and stash your bottle of wine and the glasses and the corkscrew, but I like the idea. What the hell? Hey, they open every day, Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week. They open every morning at 11 a.m. And they're open throughout the entire day. Lunch, early afternoon, mid-afternoon, late afternoon, right into dinner. 11 a.m. to 9:30, straight through, 7 days a week. I'm talking about Lebanon's Cafe. Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn. Tough to beat Lebanon's Cafe. I was there the other day. Got a to-go order. Chicken shawarma, tabbouleh, fried football kibbe. Some of the city's finest Middle Eastern food can be found at Lebanon's Cafe. Carrollton at Jeanette, right by the streetcar barn. They are very, very good. Hey, if you missed the 4 o'clock hour, you missed Fletcher Mackel joining us from WDSU Channel 6 Sports. Michael Hecht on assignment. He's trying to lure some jobs to New Orleans, missing today's segment. Frank Brightson slammed. So he didn't join us today. Scot Craig from Katie's joined us a few minutes ago talking food and goodies. There was an LSU survey. I'm not going to get into it. The gist of it, Louisiana headed in the wrong direction. We'll talk about that next week. It's Friday. It's the 5 o'clock powwow. It's all good. Except for that heat out there. My goodness, it's hot. I was outside today for a few hours this morning. I mean, in the sun, not even physically doing much, you will perspire. It's summertime, and it's going to be like this for the next 4 or 5 months. If you need air conditioning help, your AC's making a funny noise, or you don't think it's blowing cold enough like last year, or worse, it's not working at all, don't stress out. It's not good, but don't stress out. Get the problem solved. You know, your AC breaking, it's like a pile of you-know-what was thrown in front of you. You want that pile of you-know-what to be as small as possible. You want to get rid of that pile of you-know-what as quickly as possible. That's where Fair and Honest Lucas and the boys step up for you when it comes to AC needs. First off, it's honest, Lucas, incapable of screwing you around. They're air conditioning experts. They diagnose it right away. Lucas diagnosed a problem I had about a year ago over the phone. He was right. He knew right away. And they come right away. They come immediately because you're stressed out. It's hot. Your AC's not working. You don't have to sleep at the in-laws. You don't have to go rent a hotel room. You don't have to sleep in the heat. River City's Total Maintenance is there today, right now on a Friday afternoon. They're getting your system working today, tonight. Weekend, weekday, overnight, holiday, it doesn't matter. River City's Total Maintenance is there. Honest air conditioning experts that come immediately. All you need to know is NOLAAC.com. If you ever need air conditioning help, NOLAAC.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore led us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLA.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLA.com, your cool spot.
Is that Gatemouth Brown? Don't tell me. Snooks Eaglin. Boom. Old Snooks. Both those guys are good. Gate Swings, you should check out that CD. Gatemouth Brown, Gate Swings. It's like swing music, but this guy just kills it on the guitar. Yeah. Snooks Eaglin, too. Snooks Eaglin was so good. Jeez and Pete's. The musicians, the past, the present, the future. New Orleans is ground zero, the greatest music city in the world. Every modern music genre. Now, there are subgenres and there's thousands of genres, but just about every major modern music genre, either fully influenced by New Orleans or at least partially. There's not one, fully, like jazz, 100%, blues, basically 100%, Chicago blues, it's a Mississippi blues, it's all New Orleans people. It's all New Orleans. Jazz, blues, R&B, rap, Zydeco. We can go on and on. Read Bob Marley's book. Talks about reggae, the calypso sounds coming out of New Orleans in his book. No, we are the modern music capital of the world. There's no city that has a rhythm, a beat, a vibe, the sheer number of insanely, ridiculously talented musicians, families of musicians like the Nevilles, the Batiste, the Andrews, Bartholomew. It's endless. Marsalis, it's endless. We are the music capital of the world. We have the most talent. We have the best music clubs and venues. Can't be beat. We're a great concert stop for the major stuff. We get all the major concerts. You can pop into Maple Leaf on Oak Street tonight and for $10 get some of the best music in the world. I live not too far from there. I will go over there and just plop on the bench and not even go outside. 30, 45 minutes, just catch it, the little music outside. Walking my dog or something like that. No, New Orleans is just an absolutely incredible music city. And then you throw in our food scene, and it's world class. We're one of the few cities in the world that has its own cuisine, unique to our city, like our music. Those two things together, it's tough to beat New Orleans. What's that, Blue Boy? Food, music, yep. Culture, the people, of course. What else, buddy? History, architecture. You're nailing it, buddy. A European masterpiece. You're right on the money, buddy. I love it. I love it too, Blue Boy. Corporal, thank you. Thanks for watching and listening. Have a great weekend. See you Monday, 4 o'clock. Be there.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.